We're all confident. We're all like, yeah, there's changes, but Saliba's coming back. Yeah, 2-1. Right? The minute we all heard the team, remember, Lee? What did we all say?
We went for a draw.
We all said, take a draw. You know what I mean? Every one of us said it. And you know what summed up that game for me yesterday? Trossard, yeah? Comes on, scores, then has to come off again because he can only play 30 minutes. And that summed it up for me. I just said to myself, we can't just keep doing this with these injuries, man. If we are to win the league, we've got to get players back. We can't keep going to it seems like every time we turn up at one of these big games, there's somebody out. And they're always big players, you know what I mean? So you're turning up at the most informed team in the league at this moment in time. You got none of your centre halves are there. Your most informed wide player, which has been Trossard, he ain't playing. Everybody, the players that are coming in are just coming back, right? So, Ben White's just coming back. Odegaard's just coming back. Gyökeres just coming back. Madueke's only recently come. I'm just like, when are we going to have a game where it's just like, when we're doing the starting 11 show, we already know what the 11 is because everyone's available. And maybe we're thinking, should we... We just ain't had that recently, and then coupled with the tough games that we've had, it was just always going to catch up with you. And I think that yesterday was the one. Yesterday was the one when it caught up on us. However, still it was painful because, as I said before the game, when I saw the team, I was like, I'll take a draw. Looked like we're going to get that draw, which wouldn't have been bad, even though it's a couple of points drop, but it wouldn't have been bad. But then we get sucker punch right at the end. And yeah, I agree with you, what you said there, Curtis. When that ball got crossed into the box, I'm like, why weren't Gyökeres or Madueke on that? Or is that just that they're not match sharp at the moment? That they're on their heels? Because like you said, that's bread and butter. That's the sort of stuff that, Gyökeres has actually done all right with so far, isn't it? Like them tap-ins. He was just on his heels. Declan Rice was absolutely knackered. Ben White was knackered. I felt sorry for him, man. He was shattered at the end of that game. Quite rightly so. He's only just come back. He's had to play 2 big games, 90 minutes in a week, which he would never have done if players were available. He would have just done the one game.
With the injury thing, the only thing that frustrates me, I think we spoke about it before as well, is when do we start to look at ourselves in terms of every... Aston Villa, for example, they haven't got the biggest squad in the world, but they're playing midweek games as well. There's other teams, i.e. City, etc., that have to play midweek and they're playing as many fixtures as us. And they all get injuries, but they don't seem to get as many as us. And obviously, I know luck plays into it, and you can't really control luck. If someone comes in with a bad tackle on Saka, like what are we supposed to do? But when it's hamstrings and stuff like that, and it's repeated, and I don't know, I don't know the answer. I wish I did. But it's like, is it some way we're training? Is it? Could we rotate more? Is it a thing of we bought in Norgard, but we seem to not trust him to even play against Brentford, the club we bought him from? Is there an issue there that we've bought him and Arteta's seen him in training and thought, I've made a mistake there when it comes to Declan Rice looking knackered? But I just think I just don't want to blame the injuries. And I know it's the injuries. We can't take it away and say they're not important because arguably the 2 best centre-backs in the world are both missing for us. So, of course, it's going to be tough. And we've got players playing out of position, and of course that's going to affect us. If we had Gabriel and Saliba, do I think we could have got something yesterday? Probably. But when the injuries are so consistent, and it's not just this season either. We were talking about this last season. We were saying injuries have cost us. Obviously, when Saka was out, etc. Even down to the first title challenge when Saliba went out, we had to play Rob Holding. And is there something that we can do behind the scenes? Is it the new doctor we got from Palace? Is there something that we need to look into or bring up as fans to the fact that we're getting so many injuries and it's costing us every season? I think that's where I get frustrated that go on.
Sorry, Jack. No, I remember Lee saying something yesterday, though, right? There's a couple of injuries, right? It got nothing to do with Arsenal. Like the Gabriel one, he got that playing for Brazil. So the Odegaard one, he got that one playing for Norway. you know.
But maybe it comes down
And
to
then even like
freshness is more like, it might not just be injuries, but when we talk about, I don't know, Ben White looking knackered, is that because he's only played one 90-minute game? I know he was injured at the start of the season, but the past month or so he has been available. Maybe we could have given him 20 minutes here or there a bit more often just to build up that match fitness, or could have come on for a bit longer?
But then Timber's been
I know
Timber's been brilliant, isn't
it's
it? And a friend of mine was making a point to me yesterday, right? He was going like, when we talk about, say, Declan Rice and do we play him too much and things like that, he was making a point to me that, remember when City, that season when they won the league, like Rodri played every game.
Yeah.
Every single game. Remember, like, and they had that thing where every time he plays, they don't lose. So, like, he played every Premier League game. He played every sort of important game in the Champions League. He only ever got rested if it was, say, a Carabao Cup, which is exactly what we have been doing with Rice. So, I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I don't know what the other guys think. There is a lot of bad luck in it sometimes.
My only thing, just quickly, with Arteta is I think when he has an opportunity to rest a player, sometimes he doesn't take it. Do you know? It feels like he's very reliant on that sort of core group. Like I said, when we went to Port Vale, you know, Gabriel's on the bench coming on, Declan Rice is coming on. I know you say there Gabriel got injured playing for Brazil, but is that a culmination of coming back from a torn hamstring and playing every league game? And then eventually you get to Brazil and then the muscle goes. So I think the whole point of that squad depth in the summer was Saka doesn't have to play 90 minutes every week. Saliba doesn't. I would like to see Mikel now, when you're playing teams, particularly at home, and you know, no manager's going to say it, but you know there's a very good chance you're going to win. Take somebody out. You know, Timber's played a lot of football. Rice played a lot. Pick and choose, maybe I take that player out for this game, this one for that game, and just take the workload off some of these players, because I've never seen a team get this many injuries. You know, they need to do some big investigation. Is it the training ground, the medical staff, Arteta overplaying them? Because our depth now is, I mean, we had that young boy Salmon on the bench yesterday, 16 years of age, and you're going, do you know what I mean? I see Oxlade-Chamberlain played in that game yesterday. I'm panicking now, thinking, is Mikel going to give him a 6-month contract? He played against United under 21s with Jesus. So, yeah, man, it's a strange one. I don't know what you think, Lee, about the injuries. What do you think?
Yeah, listen, I think that there is a problem there, like, you know, and what worries me about it is, like, you know, what sort of injury has Saliba got? Like a training injury one day before a massive game, and has now missed the last 3 games. You know what I mean? What sort of injury is it? They're sort of keeping that very, very quiet, because, you know, surely on that Saturday, it should be a light training session. I don't see how you should be getting an injury that's keeping you out long term. You know, I look at the the Havertz one in Dubai, you know what I mean? Like when he's ripped the hamstring off his bone, right? Well, what sort of training is that like? You're going out there for a rest, like you're not, you know, a little tick over, ripping the hamstring off you. You know, what's he trying to do? Like, you know, I don't understand it. So those sort of ones
Club white
can be prevented.
He must have been at the club white, like dancing.
I don't know where he could be doing it. I don't know, like, but the end, you've got to look at players, like, you know, and if you're going to rest them. Not then like say, all right. I imagine what it's like at one of these things, right? You're being rested today, so go and see the fitness bloke. You've got to do 6-mile run, 600 press-ups. You know what I mean? And then you've got to get on the bike and do a 25-mile run on the bike. You know, I'd rather play, boss. All right, yeah, you can play then, Declan. Like, you know what I mean? It's just something like that. I don't understand it. I don't want to see Declan even going to Bruges. I really don't, like, you know what I mean? I do think, listen, we've had these injuries. There is a little bit of luck in injuries. I remember Saka being rested against Crystal Palace and then plays Crystal Palace in the league game round about this time last year, wasn't it? And he goes out and gets injured, like, you know. So it can, but I just think at the end of the day, as you say, what is Norgard here for? Realistically, what do we sign him for? You know what I mean? If you're not going to play him, maybe, like, you're going to play him in games where like the League Cup ties, so players can get a rest and all that. I don't know, or the FA Cup can help, but I'm looking at Norgard. I'm scratching my head. He's playing against Brentford the other day. He's hardly played. You think they're playing against Brentford, like, you know, but they don't. They don't get even. We're getting absolutely overrun in midfield yesterday.